welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Danielle. Today's video is not pregnancy related because if you are new here, I am 30 weeks pregnant, 31 weeks pregnant. I can't quite remember. I'll check my app, but I think I'm 31 weeks pregnant. But anyways, today's video is totally not pregnancy related. It's probably not even going to be like a happy video. It's just going to be like something that's on my mind because my husband was mentioning something to me the other day, and I don't know, it just got me thinking. So if you are new here, you probably haven't watched any of my other videos, and I feel like I've gotten a lot of new subscribers just because I'm pregnant. But prior to pregnancy, I would make story time videos, and part of my past is I got married at 18 and divorced, and now I am remarried to somebody new. I live in California, so all my exes live in Texas, like the song. Yes. So basically, I wanted to kind of touch on like my experience with going through all of that situation. And yeah, so let's just get started. So basically what triggered this video is because my husband was telling me about one of his coworkers, and I guess his wife left him. And basically what he said, or from like the gist of what I got, is that his wife left him, and like it seemed like it was unexpected, and I think she's seeing somebody already. But the way that my husband made it seem was like, oh, it was totally unexpected and this, that, and the other. And I tried to explain to him, like, if a woman is leaving, it's not unexpected. Like, there must have been signs. She must have given him warnings, or, you know, it's not just like I woke up one day and I just left. That's typically not how it works, just from my own experience and people around me who have been through divorce. And I don't know, I feel like this can go either for guys or girls, but usually there is, I don't know why the word symptom is in my head, but like there's warnings that will like show, you know, if the person is gonna leave pretty soon or not. I highly doubt that it ever comes like super unexpected, especially with the woman leaving the husband. So my experience, I'll just kind of go like over like an overview. So like I said, I got married super young and I got divorced, and it didn't work out for several reasons. One of them, we were just like not on the same page anymore. There was a lot of, okay, I'll just start from the very beginning. At the very beginning, oh, I'm so in love. I thought I was in love. I was 18, okay? But the reality of it, if like looking back, is my parents became super strict when I turned 18, and they decided they were going to move back to California. And I didn't want to live in the house with them anymore because there was going to be rules. And I was going to college, you know, so I didn't want that type of like restriction. So I saw getting married like as a way out. Not just that, like I liked the freedom that came along with moving out of the house. And so, like I said, I was super young. I saw that, like the freedom, the opportunity, and everything like that. That guy that I was with was super, super insecure, and he actually had a lot of past trust issues, which there was a lot of red flags that I dealt with, okay? And so before I even moved out with him, like I thought he was like this great guy. He made it seem like he was like a student who had a good job. He said he worked at an engineering firm. He lived on his own and all this stuff, right? He painted himself to be like this super amazing guy. And it was kind of a long distance relationship. We live like an hour away from each other, okay? So it's not like I can just like pull up on him. Did I even have a car yet? I did have a car, but like it was just not like that, you know? So, and he was a couple years older than me, so I really thought like, oh man, like this guy is like a legit man, like he has his stuff together, and it was just like admirable. And like I said, I wanted the freedom. So my parents ended up selling their house in Texas, and they asked me if I was going to move with them or like what I was going to do. So I started dating this guy in the month of April. And in the month of November, of the same year, he proposed to me. And in December, my parents moved back to California and I moved in with him. Well, his parents were buying a brand new house, and it was like a large house. So all of his siblings were gonna, like, adult siblings were gonna move in the house with the parents to help them out with like the mortgage and stuff. So I moved into that house with him. And like I said, he was very jealous. He was very insecure. He was one of those people that are like serial daters. Like, he's always in a relationship and never gave himself time to heal in between relationships. Like, literally right before me, he had just got out of a serious relationship that he was with her for a couple years, and before that he had another serious relationship. And with both those girls, like, they both left him. Like, one of them literally left him on Christmas morning, and the other one, I don't really know the history of why they broke up. One time she reached out to me and she just said that he's super insecure, and she was accusing him, or he was accusing her of cheating, and she was just like, I'm not gonna deal with that, basically. So she kicked him out. So he had trust issues already. The first serious relationship, the one that left him on Christmas morning, cheated on him and all this stuff, and like, she left him on Christmas morning for another guy. So yeah, so he was very like traumatized from that. So he took out those trust issues on me, and then it kind of came like a verbal abuse thing, and then like a physical abuse thing, and just like really mistreating me. Like, I remember like one time he literally got like a pot, like a plant, and like poured the dirt all over me. He like broke my stuff. He pushed me around. It was not a good relationship. And he stopped working. He would like stay home all day, and I was the one going to work, and he was literally like, he would literally not do anything all day long. So I had told him, like, if you're gonna be home, like, you need to do something. Sorry if it got a little bit loud. I put my AC on. You have to do something. So we decided he's gonna go back to school. And he started going to school, but like, he wouldn't even do his work. He would have me do all his homework. So not only was I a full-time student and working, then I had to do his assignments. So it was just kind of like, this guy just, I don't know, it was just a lot of taking advantage of, I guess. At least that's what it was like I felt like on my end. And like I said, he didn't respect me or anything like that. So we ended up moving out of his parents' house. And like I said, I'm a student this whole time. So I stayed there because I was going to school. There was times that I threatened to move, but at the same time, I'm like, how am I gonna get home? Like, really? And I was a student. I looked several times into transferring, but because I was a Texas resident now, I was gonna have to pay like out-of-state tuition if I did move to California. So I kind of just stuck it out for a long time. Eventually he did end up getting a job, and we ended up moving out to our own apartment. And during that time, honestly, I don't remember like how our relationship was. Like, it's not anything that was memorable. I just know that like, I had already lost respect for him, and I was like not in love with him. So we had been married for 5 years. We were married for 5 years, okay? And I literally like fell out of love with him. Like, how can you love somebody who constantly disrespects you, who breaks your stuff, and just, you know, doesn't put you first? And I would tell him like, things that were important to me were not important to him. There's things that you can show me that like you care about me or that you love me. Like, he couldn't even think to like do small things. And to me, it's just like, that just kind of shows like who you are. So I would always like give him like warnings, and I would tell him like, these things are important to me. And there was that song by Bruno Mars, like, I should have brought you flowers or whatever. And I used to tell him, you're gonna be singing that song. You're gonna be singing that song. Like, and he would just laugh about it because he thought it was a joke. But I was serious. Like, why should I like lower my standards because you don't know how to treat me? And he used to think that it was a joke, like, oh, haha, like, whatever. Like, he didn't take me serious. And I'm like, okay, well, like, you're gonna be singing that song. I'm going to go back to California. Like, you know, he really thought it was a joke. And it came to the last year right before I was gonna graduate. Not right before, it was like a while before I was gonna graduate, like the year of. I was going to graduate in December, and I told him earlier in the year. I had come to visit my family, and then when I got home, sorry if I'm like looking back there. I don't know why I keep looking in my mirror and like not in the camera. So anyway, so I had got back to Texas, and we had went out to eat one day, and he was joking, saying like, oh, my dad wants me to co-sign on a property, but he thinks that we should get a divorce first so you don't try to take it away from me. And I just thought that was like a pretty shitty thing to say, you know, even if it was a joke. But like at the same time, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's fine, we can get a divorce. And he's like, haha, like, just kidding. But I was already so disconnected from him that I was like, no, like, we can get a divorce, like, we can really get a divorce. And he was like, haha, like very funny. And like, I just kept going and going. I was like, no, like, I'm serious, like, I'm not in love with you. Like, I'm not attracted to you. Like, you don't, like, and I basically laid it all out there because like I had been telling him for a long time, like, this is important to me, you don't do these things. Or like, he would just be disgusting in front of me, like hawking up loogies and like things like that, like just being gross. And like, I just feel like there should be some sort, sorry, my phone keeps moving, I have it like on my little thing. So anyways, like, I just feel like some things like you should just do in private. Like, you shouldn't be hawking up loogies in front of me or fucking farting all loud. Like, I understand like sometimes things happen, but there should be some type of like, I can't think of the word. I have pregnancy brain, okay? But it was just like, you're being disgusting. You're doing things that are making me not attracted to you. We're not on the same page at all. You don't do anything that makes me happy. You disrespect me. It's just like, the list goes on, okay? So it was just like, I'm fed up. I'm going home to California. Like, that's where I'm going, you know? And I'm not in love with you anymore. Like, I haven't been in love with you for a long time. And he was really like taking it like a joke, and like it literally continued on until we got home. Probably wasn't the best timing because we were like out to dinner when I was saying it, but it's how I felt. So then we get home and he's like, haha, like, he still thinks it's a joke. And then he's like, you know, whatever. And then he like, finally it hit him, and like, then he kind of like started crying and this, that, and the other. And then like, he kind of went through the stages of like, you know, when you lose someone, like the stages of loss, or what is it? The stages of grief? I don't know, whatever it's called, where it was like, he went through like the stage of anger and denial, and like he went through every stage that you can think of. And at that point, like, I already knew that I didn't want to be with him, but I did tell him, look, obviously I don't graduate until the end of the year, so I'm gonna be here. So if you want to try to like win me back, or like make things work to make me feel like that you even deserve a chance, I don't know, to make me feel valued, I don't know. And he did the complete opposite, which was fine with me, honestly. Like, my only goal at this point was to graduate college. Like I said, I have been so disconnected for such a long time that like, it didn't really make a difference, you know? And so literally like the last day, like the day that I'm leaving, so actually let me backtrack. So we were living in our own place. We ended up moving in back with his parents just to save money before I left, so we wouldn't have to pay rent or whatever. I had my own bedroom at his mom's house because we stopped sleeping in the same bedroom. We had a one bedroom. I was sleeping on the sofa literally that last year, or like ever since the moment that I told him like, I don't want to do this, I'm like, whatever, I started sleeping in the living room. Finally, it comes to my graduation, and I graduated on a Sunday. Like, the ceremony was on a Sunday, and on that Friday after, like, I worked that week, I left on a Friday. And then he literally waited till that Friday that I'm leaving to be like, so you're like really leaving? And by this point it had been so many months, and I'm like, fool, like, what did you think I was gonna do? Like, yes, I'm really leaving. Like, did you think this was like a fucking joke? Like, oh, haha, gotcha. Like, no, like, I'm really leaving. And my mom really thought I was stupid for telling him that I wasn't in love with him. She thought I was dumb for doing that. She's like, what if he loses his shit on you and like kills you in your sleep? Sorry I'm cussing so much, but like, that's how she said it. She's like, what if he just goes crazy on you and kills you in your sleep and this, that, and the other? But I didn't want to fake it anymore. And I know like that's not like the most ideal situation to be living with somebody that you don't want to be with or whatever, but I graduated and I left. The whole point is that after all of that rant is I warned him for a long time before I left. I warned him for a long time before I didn't want anything to do with him. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many broken promises that you can deal with, like, or so many, I'm gonna change, I promise I won't do that again, I promise, like, whatever. Like, there's only so much that you can freaking deal with, like, as a human being, like, you know? So when my current husband was telling me that about his coworker, how the wife left unexpectedly, and I think he said she's seeing somebody, I'm like, it's not unexpected. Like, the fact that she's even seeing anybody, or like that opportunity that you're letting somebody into your relationship, it's because you are done. You are done. And I'm not saying 100% of the time that it comes with warning, but I'm saying a lot of the time, you know, when you're in that position. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I don't feel like, oh, like, we're so happy together and we're so in love, and then somebody's gonna step out. Like, I don't foresee that happening. It usually happens when, like, sorry, my lighting's getting messed up. It usually happens like when you're fighting a lot, when you're not on the same page. And yeah, like, I don't think it comes unexpected. And so I want to make this video just in case you're in that position and like you're like in a unhappy relationship or whatever the case is, and you don't think the person's gonna leave you. Like, you're one of those people that are just taking advantage of their kindness, you know? Like, don't ever mistake somebody's kindness for weakness, because eventually people are just gonna up and leave you. So I'm gonna say, like, at least 90% of the time that there's warning signs. And I would say, don't take advantage of somebody's kindness. If they're telling you, like, hey, I don't like, you know, X, Y, and Z, and you're making promises to change, or you're making promises to treat them better, then you need to follow through with those promises. Like, I saw a quote that said, an apology without change is just manipulation. And I totally agree with that. Like, if you have no intention to grow up, or you have no intention to treat your partner better, and you're promising them that you are, then you're just manipulating the situation to get what you want, even though you have no intention to grow up. And if you're the person, like, if you're the toxic partner, if you're the one putting your partner through hell, and you're promising them things that you don't have any, you know, intentions of changing about yourself, then just don't manipulate them. Just let them know, like, I love you, but these are things that, like, I'm not willing to change, and just, like, move on, because life is too short to be in a toxic, unhealthy relationship. Like, life is way too short for that. But yeah, that's just like my little rant, my little ramble. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.